I like where this is going. Hello, welcome to Just My Thoughts. I'm your host, Khaleel Ward. On this episode, I'll be talking about Tribes of Europa. It's a Netflix show. It's German, although they do speak a fair amount of English in it. In 2069, there's a global blackout, like a cyber war, and technology is knocked out all over the place. The show takes place in like 2074, and all the old nations that we know disappear, and then like micro states are formed, and it's basically your own beliefs and your own culture. So we follow this tribe, as they're called, Origine tribe. They live in the forest. They don't mess with technology or anything like that. They do basic hunting, bow and arrows and stuff like that. They do have guns, but they just don't mess with quote unquote the outside world. And we follow these siblings, Liv, Asia, and Keanu. And I believe Asia is he's the youngest one, and he's having his adult ceremony. He's going to be an adult now or whatever. And but they discover this technology, a ship crash in the forest, and they don't really want to go to it because they don't really mess with it. But they talk about it, and it's like, oh, maybe somebody's hurt, and they find this guy, and it turns out he's like an Atlantean, and I guess they're very important. They don't really explain. And the Atlantean gives Asia this cube, and he tells him there's a threat coming from the east, and it's going to destroy all humanity, like everybody, all the tribes. They don't care, and he needs to take this cube and find this ark or whatever. Before he can do any of that, they get attacked by this other tribe of crows. That's what they're called. They wear black, they paint their face, they fight, and they kill a lot of people. They don't really care, and they have their own codes of conduct, and they looking for the cube because they want this technology. They want to harness it, and they want to make money and all that. So everybody gets separated. Liv gets stabbed, Keanu gets captured, and Asia just runs off. So all three siblings are separated, and we follow them through these episodes, through their tough journey because they're fighting to survive. Keanu probably has it the worst because he becomes like a slave, and then he becomes like a sex slave. Because he's with the crows and he's trying to survive, so he has to do certain things to survive. He has to kill some people, and he gets to move up the ranks. I thought his story was probably the most interesting because it was literally life or death every moment, because the person who quote unquote purchased him as like this sex slave, she was crazy and she would kill anybody at any second. She wore these weird finger knife things, and he was just having to maneuver to make sure he was always the one that was like favored. Liv, she gets stabbed. She comes to, and she gets taken by these crimsons, and they're like the military people. They're quote unquote good guys, and they want to stop the crows as well. They want to knock down the crows, stronghold and everything. So she's using them to get to her family, and they want to use her because she captured a crow. So she's okay in terms of like living situations. She got food and water, and she's all right. Then you have Asia. He runs into this guy named Moses, who's this smuggler dealer guy, and they get attacked a few times. He's out on the road. He doesn't know if his family's alive, and he has the cube, so he's probably in the most danger. So it's just each episode gives every character enough time to showcase their story and what they're going through in this journey, to save each other. They don't know that each other is alive. Asia believes his whole family's dead. Keanu sees his father a few times, so he knows he's alive, but he's seen Liv get stabbed. He don't know what happened to his younger brother, so he's just trying to get out. And it's cool and interesting watching them change throughout the show. Just having to do certain things that they weren't accustomed to. They didn't use technology like that, but they started using technology. Liv goes and joins another tribe essentially because she wants to help her family, and everything doesn't always work out for her. Even though she's in probably the best situation, and they leave you with a cliffhanger. So I'm interested to see what happens in the season 2. I hope the season 2 comes out sooner rather than later because it's a pretty cool show. There are some slow moments, but it picks up, with the action and the violence, especially when the crows are on screen. Somebody's probably gonna get stabbed. But I enjoyed it. Tribes of Europa. It's on Netflix. If you watched it, let me know what you thought about it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Deuces.